bring you into their world. It's not just chickens and the Angus herd. So take off your boots, relax, and go beyond the ranch.
Hi guys, and from a relatively obscure YouTube channel that nobody had ever heard of, to now, 4 years later, we have a YouTube channel that when we mention it to people, you kind of see like a little spark in their eye, and they're like, I might have heard of that. Still can't place you. That's where we're at today. 4 years later, as we take a retro look at our Wyoming life. This is actually the exact same spot where we did our very first live stream back in 2017.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
It's a retro live stream.
Yeah, a little bit retro. I've got on the retro shirt. This is the original
Can't
Our
get
Wyoming
that
Life
anymore.
logo. Yeah, you can't get this. If you have this shirt, this is a
And I have the newest logo.
collector's item. So yeah, you have the newest logo. So both of these someday probably collector's items to somebody. Probably just me. Thanks for coming along with us today as we do get a chance to sit down here. And now this isn't really, this is really done by accident because we had your cooking class yesterday.
Yeah.
And that took place in our kitchen, which is located right over there. So we had to move all this equipment from the upstairs live stream studio to here where...
And you just said, screw it, I'm not moving it
I'm
back
not
up.
moving it. So we're gonna leave it here and we're gonna do a retro live stream. So this is where we did our first live stream. 84 people attended that live stream. I don't know how many are here right
Maybe
now,
about
but
90
probably,
or so.
probably about 90 or so. So we are moving up in the world. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with us. Wendy here, Jeff Lake, of course, from across the way. Ranch hand Jeff still obviously not working, taking some time off.
I mean, we only made him work all day.
I know, right? We'll talk about what we did all day coming up. Also, some new announcements coming up in this live stream for you that have to do with the future of the Ranch Roundup. So we're going to talk about that as well. I wanted to thank our new Patreon supporters, Timothy Martin and Judith Todd, brand new Patreon supporters for this month. If you would like to support us through Patreon, you can do that at patreon.com. I think there might be a link down in the description where you can do that as well for as little as like $1 or $3 or something like that per month. So that helps us continue to bring videos just like this one to you guys, and all this silly equipment and all this stuff that we have to have. So how are you today?
I mean, we used to like live stream from our phone.
We did. I think actually that first live stream, I thought about doing it from our phone, because that first live stream, I'm not sure if we did it from our phone or not. I remember...
Maybe, I don't, yeah, it's hard to remember.
I watched a little bit of it, and it was kind of interesting to see what people were asking questions about.
How many acres and how many cows?
The same questions, the same. There was one that somebody actually asked what you did.
Nothing.
Which I thought was kind of fun.
I do nothing.
No, you do everything. And you did answer the question. You said, this was before nonprofit. This was before Ranch Roundup. This was before...
I'm so tired, guys. Like, it's
extra
been like
gardens and
weeks.
new high tunnel. We were down a high tunnel back then. We only had one high tunnel because we built the second high tunnel during YouTube. So
I haven't had a day off in weeks.
It's been a crazy busy time around here.
So tired.
Are you sure you're okay? Can you
No,
make
I'm
it through
really
this? Okay.
tired.
I actually brought Erin a White Claw to drink during this portion brought to you by White Claw.
I wish. Could White Claw call me?
Who makes White Claws again? We went through this one time.
I don't know.
But she didn't want it. She turned it down.
tired.
She said, I can't drink this
We
tonight.
still have work to do.
We do. We still have to package chickens tonight. We spent the entire day butchering chickens. I think we set a new record for the number of chickens that we were able to butcher in one day. And we didn't even get started until
like
11
almost-
o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it was late. We had scalder issues.
Yeah, we were going to try to get started right around 9 after the Harvest Host tour, which, by the way, Harvest Hosts are now back on the ranch. We have folks from all over the U.S. with their RVs coming and staying, and we do a tour every single morning, which really knocks the crap out of our chances of having a vacation this summer. And they came and did the tour. We were thinking about starting earlier with the chicken project, but then I figured walking a tour through carnage might be kind of a bad thing. A little bit, maybe. Who knows?
But you did sell a fresh chicken today in the farm
I sold a
store.
very fresh chicken in the farm store.
And I was like, oh, is it Is it cold enough?
They're gonna cook it. They're gonna cook the crap out of it. So
Thank you, Joe, for the $4.99 super chat. We appreciate that.
definitely. So
Hey,
yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with White Claws. Okay, White Claws are great and a low-calorie alcoholic option.
I just don't like seltzer water. If they could make it taste like whiskey, I'd probably drink it.
So this is my non-alcoholic drink of choice is a sparkling water from our soda stream. I just really like bubbly water.
You do. You like. What did you do before bubbly water? What did you drink?
I had to drink plain boring water.
Oh my gosh, that's
Which
retro.
I still drink
That's
lots of
so
that.
retro. So retro.
I mean, I still drink a lot of that too, but
You do.
I like the bubbles.
We have you managed to get Jeff to drink any water yet?
Yeah, he did the other day.
Did he?
He did one time when Keith was here.
Oh yeah. If you get him working hard enough, he'll drink water. Jeff, if anybody really wants to support a habit, send Jeff Mountain Dew, or at least coupons if you get 10% off or something. That guy drinks Mountain Dew like it's
But
going out
not
of style.
canned Mountain Dew and not fountain Mountain Dew.
No, it has to be bottled Mountain Dew, and it has to be a certain size, not the little bottles and not the giant bottles, because they have to be able to fit in his back pocket. Which I don't know how it's a good thing he never sits down, because he's always got a Mountain Dew in his back pocket.
He does.
So anyway, yeah, so we did, we butchered chickens today, and now after live stream, we're gonna go out and package chickens.
Yeah.
But how many chickens do you think, there was 3 of us, obviously, with Jeff's help, but how many chickens do you think we butchered today?
70 or 80 probably.
That's
We
crazy.
didn't really count, but there's 16 left.
Yeah, of
you
the 100
think?
that were over there, right around that. It's hard to tell because they hide in the chicken tractor. They hide underneath the feeder.
We think there was somewhere between 90 and 100 to start out with. It's really hard to count chickens.
It's hard to count. They move around a lot. But that's something we're excited to get done and be able to move on. When are we going to get chickens again? Do you know, or just depending on how fast these sell?
Yeah, no, I haven't ordered any. I need to order like I don't know, probably like an August shipment.
Yeah.
Is what I'm thinking.
Is it August? Okay.
I haven't ordered them.
Thank you.
We have to discuss that.
That would be awesome. Larry said you should have put the harvest toast to works. I don't know. So the funny story, like harvest hosts, they just show up, right? So we never know what time. We know who's going to be here each day, but we don't know what time they're going to show up. So the first one showed up. I was covered in blood, about up to my elbows. And of course they pull in. I don't have time to go wash my hands or I probably could have, but it was kind of fun.
Like sprayed yourself off.
It was kind of fun. I walked up to him and I said, hey, I'm not going to shake your hand, not because of COVID, but because I've been butchering chickens and I'm covered in blood. And the look on their face was pure horror. Like, did we walk into like a Dexter episode, or like CSI is going to happen or something? Because I'm walking up and I'm just covered in blood, and I said, I'm butchering chickens. And then I took them and got them parked, and I haven't heard a word from them. I think they're still hiding inside their RV, but that was fun. That was fun. Everybody's asking, how is your hand doing?
My hand's fine.
Yeah.
We're good.
We got the bill.
I did get the bill.
We did get the bill. And it does feel better?
Yeah.
No.
I occasionally get a little twinge in my thumb if I grab something the wrong way.
So you don't think there's any break or anything? Probably just a sprain. Pretty bad sprain is what it might have turned out to be.
Yeah, I mean, the doctor just said more smashed than anything, and yeah, we're good. I quit wearing the brace. I wore it almost a week.
Did you make it that long?
I think I did it on a Sunday. I think by Friday I was pretty much done with it. I had stuff to do. I can't bundle vegetables when I had a brace.
I get it. There's stuff to be done. Tonight, part of the idea that we had with this retro episode was that you guys can, of course, ask us questions, and this will be a Q&A type episode. So feel free to ask any questions. We will definitely try to answer as many as we can in between us moving our gums and talking about what we got going on here on the ranch. It's been 20 days since we've done a live stream, because we're now doing live streams on the first and third Sunday, but last month we had an extra Sunday in there, so we actually got an extra week off. But
what did we do last Sunday?
I don't know what we did last Sunday. It seems like we've had project after project after project happening, and then of course we got Ranch Roundup just around the corner, so it's definitely a lot going on. Somebody's here. Somebody's at the gate. Let's see who's here.
I bet Loretta left.
Okay, somebody leaving. All right. So yeah, we've.
Here's a question: do you miss Saturday market even a little? Absolutely not. No. I honestly, it's been 2 years since we've had the farm store open, and I am so thankful that we made that decision to move the farm store here to the ranch. It's something I think about often, actually. I still have some friends. Oh, the dog's here. I still have some friends that do farmers market, and I'm not like connected to that world anymore, but like I know some people that still are, and like I'm extremely thankful that like we made that decision to stop that for our family, to have weekends with our kids, even though like it's Sunday, we chose to work, but it's not the same as it was with farmers market. And I mean, I'm super happy with that decision. What about you?
Oh yeah, because I had to carry all that crap.
Yeah.
None of it's light.
Like
yeah.
I mean, and this is typical of most communities. There's vendor squabbles. There's like weird drama that happens with farmers market, and occasionally, very rarely, but like I'll sometimes hear some of that stuff, and I'm just like,
yeah.
I'm good.
I think farmers markets are really good for introducing people to where their food comes from, and putting a farmer right in front of you, and you're able to talk to them and that kind of stuff. But still, it's very. It's time consuming, and it does take a lot out of you.
They're absolutely an integral part, I think, of a local food system. A healthy, thriving farmers market is, but so many of them are not well run, and it becomes more craft show than farmer first. And I get to be farmer first in the farm store. Like,
yeah, I mean, you want to meet a farmer, you've got one right in front of you.
And I turn down people all the time that want to sell stuff in the farm store, and I say, that's not what I do. I haven't added a vendor since we opened.
Right.
I sell 3 other people's products.
Maple syrup, honey, which is kind of our product, but not really, because we don't do any other work involved.
But the bees are here on the ranch. Some of the bees are.
And then the soaps and stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
So that makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm super happy that it felt like a hamster wheel. So we got off that hamster wheel, made another one, but
we run that one even faster.
Yeah. Bill, thank you for the super chat. We're doing good, and my hand is good.
Yeah, no residual effects. The other thing that I really like about, you said something about the fact that we are working on a Sunday, but it's not like the kids are not a part of that. I mean, how many times did Grace come out? Kenzie didn't come out. Lincoln didn't come see the whole butchering process. I thought he might be more interested in that.
He poked his head in the shop a few times.
Yeah.
And I had thrown a heart to one of the barn cats that kind of poked its head in the shop, and they were all like, "What's this?" And I think at one point I had a stomach in my hand, and Grace was super inquisitive about it.
She came over for. We've got the kill cones actually set up over at the chicken tractor this year. And it's nice out, so we can run them back and forth. And she came over, and there was 4 chickens, and 3 of them were dead. And she was like, "That chicken's not dead yet. You need to kill that chicken." And I was like, "Well, it'll die. I mean, they just bleed to death, or whatever they do.
They bleed.
They have a heart attack, or all the blood rushes to their head, or whatever." I had one that, this is kind of morbid, but I had one that sometimes they flip out of the cone. You'd have to go back and watch one of our the chicken episode, but they flip out of the cone, and it flipped out of the cone and hit the ground, and I heard its neck snap. I was just like, okay, well, that was one way to do that. I mean, it was like suicide kind of thing, but I wish I would have had a camera going. But I didn't film anything today, because sometimes you have to get stuff done, and filming is pretty intrusive on something. So we want to get this done so we can move on to bigger things.
We still do have those 15 to 20 left, so maybe we could do a summer.
We could, because we do have a new scalder, which is, I really like the new scalder.
I didn't even get to ask you how it worked.
It holds temperature.
It took 2 hours to heat up.
It's electric, so it takes, but it holds temperature really well.
Good.
And it seemed to work great, because with those when you use what are those, the turkey fryer ones, every time you pull a chicken out of it, they're dripping wet, and they constantly put the flame out. So this, I didn't have to worry about it. So it was very nice. But anyway, enough about chickens.
So we kind of learned, start the propane turkey fryer to heat up the water, dump it in the electric.
Right, but the temperature's way off on that one, by the way, too.
On the.
Yeah, because Jeff heated some up, and he thought it was 140 or 100. I think he said 140, and we dumped it in, and it rose the temperature up to about 165. Oh. So yeah, who knows? All right, some questions here. Do you miss Saturday market even just a little? No, I'm just kidding. We just did that one. Let's see, how many calves now? I think we're up to 89, if I remember right. We're still waiting for Blonde Cow to have her calf.
And she's not due until
the 14th, but it could be any
soon.
time. And we've got a few more stragglers out there. I actually really, the cows have, I think they've been considerate of the fact that we have 9,000 things going on right now, because really there's been like no cows born in the last
And there
few
might
days.
have been a few that have snuck out that you
I haven't seen any. I've just been.
Yeah, but they could be sleeping.
Well, they could be, but I look pretty good. I mean,
Yeah, you do.
I
But
pay attention. So how's the deer fence doing? What do you think of the deer fence?
it's good.
Yeah, it's fence.
Yeah.
It stays up. Gates open.
This is not the time of the year that we have deer problems. So
No, but I guarantee you, the drier it gets, they're going to figure out that there's stuff getting watered in there. I bet you we'll have deer around earlier this year.
typically it's not a problem until like August, and so yeah, I think it will be. I agree, it'll be earlier. But so far, yeah, I haven't. They're busy getting ready to have babies, or
Yeah,
had babies.
or just had babies.
So like all the.
Have you
does,
seen any antelope?
I've seen one, not even on us, like on the way to town.
An antelope baby? What are they called? Fawns?
Fawns.
Is it a fawn if it's an
Yeah,
antelope?
it's a fawn.
Okay.
So yeah, they're off. They're usually separated right now. They're not really bunched up. A little bit. You'll see a few of them together once in a while, but they're having their babies.
Doing their thing.
Yeah. So.
Let's see. Welcome, Van Roney. Just saw this stream and clicked on it. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Average weight of the chickens, I'm going to guess about 5 pounds, maybe a little bit more. There's some light ones too.
There's some, so somewhere between 3 and 6 pounds, maybe 1 or 2 7-pounders.
Yeah.
So we don't weigh them until we package.
Right.
So they're all on ice or in the refrigerator waiting for us to finish the project. So.
Yeah, exactly. What's the moisture level? What moisture level?
Negative.
We're negative on
literally
moisture.
negative.
So there's all, we can talk about this in depth here about 7:30. We'll start getting into this. It's not looking good. It looks horrible, actually, to tell you the truth. And we're going to talk about that in the latter half of this when we get to the bad news portion of the live stream. For now, let's just stay happy. Let's stay positive. All right. Your family's dream vacation? Anywhere it rains? No, I'm just kidding. Do you have
would be wonderful.
Do you have a dream vacation?
Not really.
No.
I mean, the kids are kind of just old enough now that it's a lot easier to travel, and it's a pandemic, so.
Is that still happening?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, I can't say that I've really put much thought into.
I do. I want to take the kids to. I want to take the kids to Florida, to Disney World at some point in their lives.
But like, it's still
before they think it's super lame
Yeah.
to do that with your parents.
But Lincoln's 5. He turns 6 here shortly, and so like he's just not. I don't know how many memories he'll have of it.
I went to Disneyland when I was 6, and I barely remember anything. Yeah.
So it's like we're a couple years away from, I think, like a Disney vacation still. But yeah, I would love, of course, to take them to Disney. They just really want to go to the beach. So.
Yeah.
But like, we could go to a lake that has a beach, and they'd probably be fine.
They'd probably be okay with it. Speaking of beaches, we might as well tell everybody now what we built this week that's ridiculously big and stupid, and that
Taking up too much of our time.
it's going to show up in a video, and somebody's going to be like, "You didn't tell us you put that in." We decided to take one step closer to. I can't say white trash. Redneck? No, can't say that either. We put an above ground pool, a 20-foot above ground pool that holds 8,000 gallons of water in our yard. Eventually. It took us 2 tries to do it because the first time we weren't quite leveled and we had all kinds of issues.
We had a little collapsy tippy.
Yeah, you want to see 8,000 gallons of water. See, I should have been filming that too.
Really, because we were all just like, all right then.
Yeah. So let's start over. Let's do that again.
It was a bit of a frustrated, angry evening at dark 30.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like, I've had so many people over the last 2 weeks mad at me because I have not called them back, and I have to explain, like, I am not done until 10 o'clock at night.
To text Susan.
See? Like, I am not.
I went to text her the other night, and it was 11 o'clock, and I was like, oh, I can't do that.
Exactly. That's my point. Like, I've got people calling me about Ranch Roundup, and I'm like, oh, it's 10 o'clock at night. I can't call somebody now and be like, hey, Yeah, let's set that up. And, you know, so it's been horrible. But yes, the kids have a big pool that's now in the process of, so we used well water to fill it up, so it's going to take some time to get it.
I can't get the color. It's
to get the color right, yeah. I think we should just put some blue dye in it and be like, hey, look, it's blue water. Would that work?
No, I can't.
Actually, that may be the ticket. How much blue
quite.
dye would it take?
A lot. I can't quite get the color figured out, so.
Yeah, it's
fun.
a lot of fun, a lot of fun. All right, let's see. Have a camera person for the next chicken video so you can get the cameras anti-Dexter. Yeah, I did. I got a camera bloody last time we did this.
Yeah.
It happens. It happens. Yes, we will probably have one of the chickens for ourselves, don't you think? You know who did? Bengalator. We didn't bring down the jackalope. I kind of forgot about that.
We ate chicken last night.
We did. That's what you cooked for your EPP cooking class.
Yeah, I did a cooking class, a live stream cooking class last night to benefit Edible Prairie Project, and yeah, we made a chicken. We made herb and lemon roasted chicken. It was really good.
It was really good.
The whole dinner was really
very
good. And
Very
we made cabbage, roasted cabbage with honey mustard and fennel seeds, and a garlic herb bread, and a honey mug cake.
Yeah, it was all good. It was all great. Now I'm hungry.
The bread was the best.
And bread. I saw a quick message from Living Simple Homestead and Outdoors, new subscribers. Thanks, guys, for coming and joining us. We'll be sure to swing over and take a look at your channel. I've got a cat down here trying to say hi.
Is it dry here? Yeah.
Yeah, very
We've had
dry.
an inch of rain.
We're going to talk about that coming up. William asked how the big truck's doing. It's doing great. We went out and started. The other day I went out, though, and the door was open on it. And I know I have the skeleton in there.
Did you guys want to see the cat? This is Cheddar.
Yeah.
This one's Cheddar.
Yeah.
Right? Or are you Chonker? Cheddar.
Yeah.
We have two cats that look like exactly the same. Can you vibrate your phone, please? We're trying to do something here.
Oh, I got a cat going nuts, too. Blue dye might result in Smurf children.
Well, right
That's
now
true.
they're not allowed in the pool.
Yeah, they're being tortured because Erin won't let them in the pool, and they're like, we don't care if it's brown or green or whatever color it is.
It has too much chlorine. The pH is not right, and it's brown. So
Yeah.
no one's allowed in the pool.
Nobody in those. Yeah.
What's the deadline for ghost tickets?
That's a dang good
We gotta get
question.
the
I gotta
banner
start
made.
thinking about that. Yeah, I gotta get the banner made.
You got probably a week.
I think we said a week. I think last year it was a week prior to
Yeah.
Ranch Roundup. So yeah, we'll probably. I'll get something out about that at some point.
We've got a
So
lot of
far
s-
behind. It's crazy. All right. Oh, Christy.
We might have to flock the pool. Easy. That's.
Yeah, the flocking thing. Yeah, we
Yeah.
found out about that. Christy Dunham was at your cooking class yesterday.
Yeah.
She said the chicken looks so good. They're going to cook it next weekend.
You should cook it.
It was really good. It was very, very good. All right. I'm going to keep rolling through some comments here because my brain might be a little bit mushy. Off topic, but has anyone looked at the WEF lately? They're talking about a prequel to The Great Reset on 911. Okay, I'm going to follow that along. I'll just move that one over there and let Matt deal with that one. Cheddar needs to be renamed Blonde Cat. No doubt.
Our other cat, that's like almost essentially the same color, his name is Cloud,
Right.
but he's really fat, so I named him Chonker.
Yeah.
Yes, we have filtration for the pool. It's not helping. I mean, it's kind of helping.
It's helping. I mean, it's just a matter of getting it figured out. I think it's a metal issue. And everybody loves to talk about pools and what to add to pools.
And everybody has an opinion.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But I think it's a metal thing. I think we have iron in our water. And I think that's probably what's doing it.
I'm going to go to the pool and spa place. Well, it's not a pool place. They're spa people. We don't have pools here.
No.
And I'm going to take a water sample in, and they're going to tell me what to do. And I'm going to say, okay, great.
Then you're going to do that
Yes.
and follow directions.
Yes.
Steve Nape, we have not seen the eagle, thankfully. I think he moved on. I think we closed down his buffet and he moved along pretty quickly. Russ Meredith asked if you ever used an Instapot. You've got one.
Mm-hmm. I make boiled eggs in it.
That's what you use it for. That's funny. Let's see. How many flies did you salt? You know, honestly, I haven't shot a fly since I filmed that that video. But I can tell you that those fly bucket things I put out.
They're working so
Oh my gosh,
good.
those things are crazy
We
good.
have baby ducks and geese and chickens in the shop right now in the brooders, and well, the ducks and geese are in a stock tank with a lid on them. Did you show that in the video?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I showed putting.
No, because it
No,
was
I
over on the deep freeze.
Yeah.
But there was a bunch of flies hanging out on top of the duck and goose pen. The dog wants in. Go let the dog in.
Okay.
And so we moved it from the deep freezes over to on top of the duck and goose stock tank, and within 24 hours it was all the flies are gone, and that thing is full. Hi, Bean. Hi. What are you doing, Bean?
This is Bean.
This is Bean.
She's gotten a little bigger. Come here, kiddo.
Can you sit?
Can you sit down? No. Sit. Sit. You're not in trouble. You can sit. Come here. There we go. Okay. You hang out here.
She thinks when you tell her to sit, just when you tell her to sit.
When I
that
tell her to
she's in
sit, she
trouble.
thinks she's in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the bucket's working great.
Oh, you're still talking about flies.
Yeah, highly
Awesome. I didn't
recommend.
miss
We've
anything.
tried other bucket setups and stuff, and like these ones work the fastest. And like, holy, I didn't even think we had that many flies in the shop.
I know they're coming out. I think they're coming to the shop just for the fly bait. Whatever they use for fly bait and those things works insanely
If
well.
you don't know what we're talking about, go watch Friday's video over on our Wyoming Life, and
Yeah, it's a fly catcher thing that we've got through FBN,
Yep.
and yeah, they work insanely well. So
where are you going, Doug?
get Bean to smile. Bean, can you smile? Do you want to smile?
She smiles with her teeth.
Yeah.
Thank
She
you,
blends
Chief.
into the couch.
Yeah, well, on her butts here.
Yeah.
You're okay. You're okay. Thank you, JB, for the super chat. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
that.
I got a text from JB not too long ago, and he said, "I'm 30 minutes from your house, or 30 miles, or something like that." And I was like, "Are you flying over?" And he said, "Yes," because I know that he would not be 30 miles or 30 minutes from our house and not stop by. So it's a dead giveaway.
How does Bean smell? Like a dog.
She does. She smells better now.
You look sad.
She's like, "I don't want to be a part of this. I'm gonna go over here and lay down."
And
in
her
my-
tiny.
We need to get a bigger dog bed. I feel so bad. We've got a dog bed for her that when she was a puppy, I would show you, but it's a disaster over there. It looked like a bomb went off.
We're in a cone of cleanliness.
but,
we were in a cone of cleanliness last night.
She sleeps in this little tiny dog bed, and I feel so bad for her. And I need to go get her a bigger dog bed.
She likes it though.
She does really like it. She does like it. All right, Bean is growing like a weed, growing like a bean. Let's see.
Farmster is open Wednesday through Friday from 1 to 5:30.
Perfect. Actually, for M. Weber, I don't think you empty them out. I think you just throw them away when they're full. I mean, I did read some comments to the video where people said they do empty them out and then refill them because you can do that. But they smell like death, like horrible,
How much
evil.
did they cost?
I think they're like $20 a pop. But if they last a month and they catch a bazillion flies,
so
I mean,
many
maybe that's worth it. I don't know. Is it worth it to you?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, we'll find
I'll have
out.
to see the invoice.
We'll have to see the before and after. There we go.
Did you have extra bait?
No, I just came with one thing.
Yeah.
But you can put, I've seen some like do-it-yourselfer type things where people take like a piece of pork chop and throw it in there and it, mix it in with water and it becomes disgusting. And really, you just have to make something that's smelly and disgusting and that attracts flies. So I left that curtain open over there. I gotta go close that.
Because we're not upstairs in the attic in the Livestream studio, we have windows. Will we ever go back to corporate world? We sure hope not.
If I had to go back, I've thought about this. So like, if this whole ranching thing just went away, right, and I had to go get a real job, I don't know if I could. Number one, radios.
I mean, I have a real job. You could do it.
I would have to go find a different. I couldn't go back to radio.
No.
I think radios kind of go in the way of the newspaper and things like that. I don't know. I don't know what I would do.
I don't know. I have a job.
I'd have to start another YouTube channel. I don't know what to do.
I'm homeless and jobless. Watch my channel.
Yeah, watch this. Watch Erin kick me out because I won't go get a real job.
Can I work for Edible Prairie Project?
I've thought about that. I'm like, maybe there's a job there. Maybe.
Yeah, I think tossing the bug fly catcher things is
Just
probably
throwing
just
that
the
thing
way.
away. Yeah, I mean, throw it in the incinerator and just burn it up.
Like, as we see the garbage truck come down the highway to pull into the approach, like, go put it in the dumpster.
Just,
'cause,
yeah.
They are just
Well, yeah, you
stinky.
can't throw it in the dumpster because then it'll spill,
Yeah, because it's liquid.
and then you'll have like a mass.
And a mass grave
horrible.
site.
Yeah.
So just throw that
Not
away.
good at all. Not good at all. Bean has taken over Jackalow's spot, no doubt.
Bean's
Let's
tired.
see. You know, I didn't put one over with the bulls. I probably should have. The bulls probably
They'll be out
got
with the
flies
cows
over there.
soon
They'll be,
enough.
yeah, they're going to be going out here before.
Yeah, I'm not going to feed the flies to the chickens. No, they got plenty
Oh,
of food.
God, yeah.
And I don't know, like, the fly bait, like, I don't know if it's toxic or not. To
Yeah, I
chickens.
don't really, I wouldn't eat it.
Yeah.
mean-
And they like sit in there and they rot and decay and stuff. So like, yeah, our chickens are good. We can buy chicken food.
You can do that. Sandra asked if we thought about doing a podcast. 4 years ago, we had not. But about 2 years ago, we started our podcast. You can check it out. It's the Wyoming Life Experience. You can find it on Apple Podcasts, Google Cast,
We
Anchor
occasionally
FM.
make one.
Yeah, it's been a while because we've just been, honestly, I did not think this summer would be as busy as it is.
I hate it.
Would you rather it be cold in wintertime? And
I don't know. This is a July. All winter I wait for summer, and then now I hate it.
that's, what the thing is? You know what the trick is here? We don't have spring and we don't have fall. Like yesterday it was almost 100 degrees here. Now today it was like 60 something.
It was 70.
Did it hit the 70s?
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
cool.
like 78.
Oh, well, good.
Where have you been?
I was killing chickens most of the day and taking their insides out, making their insides on their outsides.
It hit 80 degrees today.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been super hot though.
It has been.
When do you put the bulls with ladies? Soon, July 1st.
Usually right
July
Jul-
7th, somewhere between the 1st
Yeah, it
and 7th.
kind of depends on when do we want to calve.
I don't know. We
So
haven't gotten to that part.
if we do 30 and 30 next year, let's say, and we do it the month of April, we could time it out so technically April 1st would be our first day of calving. I think this year our first day, technical first day of calving was like April 9th.
We haven't gotten there yet.
Nobody has.
Tired. Sorry.
Just Teresa, thank you for coming and hanging out with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Any new faces? I love to say hi to you guys and make sure that you guys get the recognition you get for coming and hanging out with us. What's now that we're hitting the slow part of the summer? What's your actually, you know what you can talk about? You can talk about your huge project that we've started 8 different times.
Oh my God.
And that is, and I showed a little bit of it in the premiere video that we did a week ago, 2 weeks ago, on the Wyoming Life channel, where I went over and I found Jeff, and ranch hand Jeff was tilling up about 10,000 acres, something like that, or not 10,000 acres, 10,000 square feet of ground for EPP. Is that all for EPP over
Well,
there?
it's for farm store too.
Oh, it's for farm store and EPP.
Because we're sharing space.
Right, and that you are making into a pumpkin patch or something?
Winter squash.
Winter squash. What's the difference between winter squash and pumpkins?
Well, I guess pumpkin probably is technically kind of a winter squash.
I win. Okay, so tell us about that. Talk us through that process
So,
and
okay.
how you want this whole
So
thing to
because
work.
it's winter squash, it's acorn, spaghetti, butternut, buttercup, pie pumpkins, and some other squash, some funkier squash that
Funkier squash?
that are
Like
not
funky
so,
tasting
no,
or funky
just
smelling?
like that, or just not the common stuff that you see all the time. But it's all winter squash. It's all long storing crops. They're all fall crops. So it feels like 10,000 acres. This project does. So we decided. I decided.
The operative word, we, because Erin keeps a mouse in her pocket at all times.
I decided that I would landscape fabric it, and we drip irrigate the whole thing, right? Because that water well doesn't have a lot of pressure.
What exactly is landscape fabric?
Weed barrier.
So it's like
fabric,
a plastic plastic water
Yeah,
permeable.
Yeah, it's water and air permeable. It's a woven. What I bought is like a woven fabric tarp. It's like a tarp.
Okay, and you put that down to keep the weeds
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, so I wouldn't have to weed it. So it was like set it up, put the seeds in, transplant the plants. In like 2 weeks, come through, pull a few little weeds that come through the holes. We use a propane torch to burn the holes. I was like, this will be amazing. And then I'll forget about it, right? I'll go check the water every couple of days and make sure the water's running, and then we'll harvest thousands and thousands of pounds of winter squash.
Effortlessly.
We have a wheelbarrow.
And a tractor.
We have, so I think it's not quite 10,000 square feet. I think I did the math because it ended up being a little smaller than we thought because we went off of Google Maps because we didn't go over there in the wintertime and actually figure out how big it would be.
True.
But it's like 7,800 square feet. So it's pretty big. We have put this dang landscape fabric down like 4 times now because the wind keeps blowing.
So this landscape, this weed barrier, you put it down and you've got these little tiny staples. And
No,
these,
they're like 6-inch staples.
you need a lot bigger staples. We need like 6-foot staples. We need staples you have to drive in with that thing that Keith brings. And the whole point of the staples is to hold this giant kite on the ground.
And our soil is very sandy.
Right. I was thinking about this though, and I was going to mention this to you. Next time we do this, because there's going to be a next time, we till it up, we staple the barrier outside of the tilled area in ground that has not been broken.
Yeah, but what about in the middle?
That's on its own. But at least the ends would be staying. Yeah, so this stuff is, the first time it blew away, it all blew, most of it blew into the fence.
There was
the
only
fence,
2 pieces in the fence.
okay, well the fence caught some
Yeah.
stuff. And that
And there was one strip holding on by one staple. That's a great staple. If they could all just be like, remember that one was held on by one staple.
Right. It was. It's an amazing. And really, I think that God just wanted us to get really good at putting down landscape fabric.
I have a bruise on my hand from putting in staples.
From putting in staples, yeah. Because you take a hammer and you beat them in the ground with the hammer, but if it's soft, you just push them in. So
It's frustrating.
yeah, it's but now the plastic is there, right?
Well, I haven't checked it since this morning. So
It was
it's
there this
probably
morning.
not.
I'll give it that.
So the fabric has lines on it to help you with your spacing, and it's reusable, right? So like this is great. We have some in a garden over here. It's working great.
I burned holes in it.
Yeah. So
Very, very, very well, I think, if you
It's-
ask me.
the plastic on this side of the road is running north-south. Over there, it's running east-west because that's the way our rows will lay out over there. Because I needed more rows. So when the wind blows out of the south, it catches the stupid fabric and pulls it out of the sand.
I was thinking about it though. It's the same distance either way, so you could have run your rows both ways.
But we didn't know that when I did it on the Google. Okay?
True. True. Anyway, so that's your life in the world of landscape fabric, and I vaguely remember in the past you had said we're never doing landscape fabric again.
So we talked about this last night, I think. Yesterday morning in like 100-degree heat, we put down black landscape fabric. Let me tell you how fun that project was. And so it sucks. It's so bad. But I think I remember saying, like, I used to use landscape fabric, and I quit doing it because I would get so frustrated with it. But the weeds tricked me. They said, you don't want to pull weeds. Put down landscape fabric. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
It's not fine.
We did put pallets down on top of it.
Yeah.
We've also got fence panels on top of it now. So it's really, who are you texting?
Loretta, she's picking up dinner.
Oh, okay. But anyway, so now we've got thousands of pounds of weight sitting on these things and hopefully holding it all down. But nobody, like you said, nobody's checked it in the last,
You checked it this morning,
yeah, nobody's checked it in the last 12 hours.
and the wind shifted directions.
Yeah.
When the wind blows out in the north, we're fine. South.
I hate turning, that's horrible. I hate turning that corner. And you're like, here it comes. I'm going to turn the corner and I'm going to see what's crap. And actually it felt good this morning because I turned the corner and it was like,
Not bad.
it's most of 99% of it was still there. There was a little bit that was coming
And it'll
up.
be fine once we get plants on it and they grow and stuff. Like it will be
Yep.
fine, and we get it watered and that's what we worked on yesterday was getting it. I'm not overhead watering over there, but we did do some overhead watering, and we tried to do some compaction on the staples, and like we'll get it figured out. And once we get the plants on, it'll be fine. I have decided that we're not taking this landscape fabric up this winter. If we get this in, we are leaving it, and I'm gonna buy whatever I need to buy so that we can run fertilizer and nutrients through the drip. And we're leaving it. It's gonna stay for at least 2 years, and it'll be a no-till plot.
That's awesome. Leanne Penrod talking about the lack of moisture in the American West right now. Our first 2 years on YouTube, we managed to make these videos that you guys probably haven't seen in a while, but they were all about this thing that we do here that's called haying. And we haven't done it for a couple of years.
We didn't do a great haying those couple of years.
Yeah, it wasn't great, but it was, the first year of haying, it was pretty light hay. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm working on our dinner here. We haven't had dinner yet.
We had light hay in 2017. 2018 was not great either. 2000, did we have hay in 2018? Trying to remember. So I put out.
What year did we get hailed out? 19, 20 we didn't cut.
19 we got hailed out.
The hay was decent, but we got hailed out.
Yeah. So did we cut hay in 18?
Yeah.
So there's a haying video in 2018?
And in 17.
Okay. But in 2019 we got hailed out.
Yeah, so there's 3 years of haying videos.
Okay, well
mediocre hay.
We may never do those again. So we average.
We're retiring that series.
Haying's boring anyway. Nobody wants to watch drivers drive around in circles.
Hay.
Yeah. We average about 14 inches of rain here in northeast Wyoming, which I think that average is probably going down.
No, it's not
as
rain.
we speak.
It's precipitation.
Precipitation, right?
There's a big difference.
Correct.
Because part of that precipitation is snow.
Right.
Snowfall.
Yep.
Erin's multitasking, not very well, but.
She's still trying to keep me in line. So basically, this year we are screwed. I mean, honestly, I look at
grass growth season is over.
Yeah, so we're already seeing grass head out, and I'm sure that Leanne in Utah has seen this as well. We have friends of ours in North Dakota, and I'm not saying that we're not in this boat alone at all. We have friends of ours in North Dakota who basically said they couldn't cut their hay with a lawnmower.
Yeah,
there's not enough grass there.
They don't even have to run lawnmowers.
Yeah. Here. So what we've got going on basically is that the cows are moving through fast. 4 years ago, we were still in this pasture that we were in, that we're, the home pasture here. And then now I've actually got cows that are 3 pastures back already, just trying to keep them in enough food that they can make it through. Now we're looking back at like 2012. This year we're breaking records from 2012, correct?
Yeah, so we had a pretty bad drought. And so early 2000s was also a really bad drought, but we weren't on the ranch. We didn't come till 2008. We had pretty good hay 8, 9, 10, and 11. 11 actually wasn't great, but we had 7 inches of rain in May, and it was really cool. Right. So too much rain can also not produce great hay, but we always cut hay. 12, we had really bad drought. And I think you still cut. We got 14 bales off of a field that usually
that
yields
was
like
so
100.
horrible. There's nothing worse than driving around a field, cutting and making bale. And cutting is not bad, raking is not bad. When it comes time to make bales and you're driving and driving and driving, trying to make a bale, very frustrating.
Yeah. So 12 was really bad. And then it's kind of been better since then. We've had to always supplement with some alfalfa or some better quality hay. We've never had since 12. We haven't had enough hay to get through. Mm-hmm. We've bought hay every single year since then, and we're just going to continue to keep buying hay.
And it's not only us. It's obviously it's every rancher in the West. And that's what amazes me right now is we're seeing meat prices, beef prices through the roof. Yeah. With the JBS hack-a-lot, whatever they're calling it. That
was a cyber
attack. But we're seeing consumers are paying more than they ever have for the price of beef. Maybe not more than they ever have, but they're paying high prices on beef. Yeah. And now the producers are making less and less and less because we don't have enough to feed. Now my biggest fear is that we don't have enough grass to make it through summer.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be buying hay ahead of time, sooner than we normally would, and we'll be feeding hay sooner than we normally would. And that's when you have to start asking yourself these really tough questions, like
the herd's reducing.
right. Number one, and this is the horrible thing, because I think I've talked about this for 3 years in a row, that I'm like, we're reducing the herd. We're reducing the herd.
Yeah, we're already at the lowest number that we've been since like 2012.
Yeah. So when we came, 4 years ago, when we came on YouTube, we had a herd that was over 150 cows.
Yeah.
And now we're down to less than 100.
We're over 100, aren't we?
We're barely over 100 if we are over 100.
And it's going to continue to go down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our hope is that the grass that's out there continues to feed the cows, but the problem is that it's not growing at this point. And hay prices, like M. Weber said, hay prices are going to continue to grow or to continue to go up because, of course, it's a seller's market.
Yeah, big time. I mean,
I really hate it because you see.
We charge $14 for ribeyes.
You see. It's almost like taking advantage of local producers. Hay costs money to put up.
Diesel
I get
prices
that.
are up. Equipment prices continue to go up.
Right.
I mean, they have a lot of input, also, but yeah, I mean the cost of hay production is not going up at the same.
I don't think
correlation
it's not like
with the input.
It's exponentially
Yeah.
Changing, and it's not. I honestly, I don't know. I don't think it's going to end well for a number of producers.
Yeah.
Who have to pay for hay.
Beef prices are high right now because JBS can charge you guys more.
Yeah, that's why.
That's it. Look into what the problem is in the beef industry with the packing industry.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Yeah, and a lot of it is coming down from COVID or whatever else. I mean, there's definitely there's a supply there. There's cows. There's calves that are ready to go. There's feedlots that have calves or steers that are ready to go. But it's still just a complete mess, and they're going to charge whatever they want to charge.
Yeah.
The bad part is that we're seeing. I actually got an email from a guy who sold a 1,000-pound steer for 80 cents a pound. So that 1,000-pound steer, which has been on his place for probably pretty close to a year, maybe a little bit more, was worth $800.
Yeah.
And that same steer will go through the system, will go to a feedlot. The feedlot will make a little bit of money on it. It'll go on to the processor who makes a whole lot of money on it. And that steer now, the original farmer or rancher was paid 80 cents a pound for, is now worth over $3 a pound to that processor. And then it goes on to distributors and then into grocery stores. Yeah. So it's a weird deal.
So basically, like, when we sell calves anywhere from $600 to $800, $900 if things are great. If we keep back steers and we finish them, which costs more money, it's more time, it's more hay, it's more grain, it's space, it's water, and it's labor. But we can, on average, then sell that steer for $3,000 to $4,000. But it takes more time to sell that steer than just taking it to auction. If I sell it by the half or the whole, it's faster. And we also have our own processing costs, which cost of processing at small processors is also going up. And if we sell it piece by piece in the farm store, I mean, that can take quite some time.
Exactly. So. And Charles Christian said the fuel prices increase is what's making it more expensive to deliver hay. I get that. Like your fuel cost, delivery goes up. But, when how much does it cost to make a bale of hay? I think we actually made a video about that. Yeah. And we took fuel cost into consideration. And, when we're paying over $200 a ton for hay to get it into the ranch, and sometimes that doesn't even include trucking, it's ridiculous. And that's what's going to... It's almost like the industry as a whole, whether it's people that can produce hay, that have an excess of hay. We see hay just over the border in South Dakota that's sitting to rot because they can't sell it because nobody wants to pay those prices.
And we're not criticizing hay people for making money. Like, every person in agriculture needs to charge what you need to charge to make money. The problem is that if we're just selling calves at auction, and like we're changing our business model, that's not how we're going to make our living in the future. And it's not how we're making a profit now. Like, everybody needs to charge what they need to charge. But when you sell calves at auction, you're not getting paid what it costs to produce that calf.
Right.
And this cannot continue for small independent ranchers.
Right.
Our industry is going to die if things don't realign and we get paid what we
Our
need to
industry
pay.
won't die. What'll happen, it'll go the same way that chicken has went and pork has went, where it becomes corporations that can afford to absorb that cost, or the same corporation that's processing will end up being the additional producer. So
vertical integration.
Right, a vertical integration.
Yeah.
So it's really hard for us to sit here and not change how we do things. And one of our hopes is that in the future we're able to share with other producers how we took our products and basically created value-added products, but also how to get products directly into the hands of consumers. Because I feel like what we do, where we say, yeah, I can take calves to auction and I can have somebody else tell me what they're worth, pisses me off, drives me crazy, because like I know what it took to create that calf and how much it took to make that calf. But if you can take that and bring it back to your ranch and be able to sell it directly to the end consumer, then you're controlling your own pricing. And you're also supporting other industries in your area. You're supporting processors. Yep. You're not supporting JBS, you're supporting Sturgis Meats or the Sheridan process. I can't remember what their name is. What's the processor in Sheridan?
I mean, there's tons of small.
Yeah, there's tons of small processors that you can support by doing that way. And that's honestly, that's how it was done for years and years and years before these big conglomerates came along, and Tyson and JBS and Cargill Meats kind of took things and took it over. So yeah, our baler will be sitting this summer. There will be no haying videos. There will be no hula hoop, throwing the hula hoop out, because that's just gonna if I have to do that, it's gonna drive me crazy. There's gonna be no throwing the hula hoop. There's gonna be
Tim, I think your numbers are pretty correct. About $20 is what the cost is to make a bale.
That's about what I came up with. Pretty
cost,
close. Yeah.
And
fuel costs go up.
Yeah.
And,
shipping and trucking and hauling that hay out of your field, like that all increases cost.
But that's not a $200 bale, or if it's a $1,400 pound bale, it's not a $1,400 bale. Or 1,400 pounds is not worth
$200 a ton.
Yeah, $200 a ton.
So they're worth what, $165?
Yeah, right in there.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Yeah, math. So yeah,
And
that's what
that's
frustrates me.
delivered price. We're obviously paying delivered price.
Sometimes.
It's
I mean, we've seen hay in the field.
$165 a bale, $150 a bale in the field.
Yeah.
And figure $4 to $5 per loaded mile for trucking.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've had people, send me emails and say, "I'll give you hay." But then you take trucking into effect, and it's not worth it. So,
Yeah.
And I feel bad too. I wouldn't be like, I'd be like, give your hay to somebody local.
Yeah.
Who
We've
can
bought
use
hay from everywhere. We bought hay from Torrington. We've bought hay from South Dakota, the Rapid City area. We've bought hay from Beulah. We've bought hay from a hay broker here in town. We've bought hay that's come out of Montana. We've bought hay that's come out of Bismarck.
Yeah.
We've bought hay from anywhere.
Yeah, you got to pay trucking. That's
Yeah.
the big thing.
And so we're 100 miles from South Dakota, and you get over in like the Spearfish area, and there is some irrigation over there. They have been getting better rain than we have. From Sundance over to Rapid City has been getting more rain. Still not great, but more than we have. And there's a lot of irrigation over there, and so that can supplement their irrigation. The rain has been, yeah, I don't know. We haven't bought any hay yet. I've been kind of keeping an eye on it. A lot of hay people, I know there's some hay people in the chat. Are you guys pre-selling your hay already? I mean, knowing the drought conditions.
Well, there's
that are
hay
coming
brokers
up.
out there too, which is something that's not relatively new, but there are hay brokers that are buying and selling hay. So now there's a middleman for hay.
But it's almost honestly easier to find. Like last year we bought from a hay broker.
Yeah, because we had to, because we couldn't find anybody who had hay.
But it's almost easier because it's like I could call 37 different hay producers to try and get it scheduled, or I can call one person and be like, find me this.
Right.
And get it here.
Yeah. And that works too, but then you're paying whatever
We're paying
they tell you to
a little tiny
pay.
bit more, but we paid pretty fair price last year. We paid between $125 and $135.
Yeah, we did have a decent guy who I can't get a hold of nowadays. I don't know what happened to him, but yeah, great guy.
So yeah, hay people, are you guys pre-selling your hay? Because nobody's cutting hay yet. Haying won't start here until next couple of weeks. On
Not
the
here,
irrigated stuff.
wherever they can hay around
Yeah.
here. Yeah, but you know, they'll have multiple cuttings, so
Yeah.
hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah, imported beef can be stamped USDA because it's being processed and cut in a USDA facility. It's not American beef, but it can be stamped USDA.
Right.
Yep.
Yep, exactly.
You want to know that your beef's American? Buy it from a rancher.
Yeah, who can tell you that, hey, there they are right there.
Yeah.
Go look at them. So the other thing we were going to talk to you guys about, and we're running out of time here.
Let's be fun here.
Yeah, is the fact, and this may come as a shock to some of you guys, but this year's Ranch Roundup will be the last Ranch Roundup. Now that doesn't mean that we're going to stop in-person events on the ranch, but we are going to be changing the basic format of the Ranch Roundup coming up next year. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a smaller group. And
It's going to be substantially small. Like you can't even really call it Ranch Roundup.
well, it's still going to be an in-person event
Yeah.
on the ranch that will take place more often than Ranch Roundup, we hope. It could even be a monthly event that takes place on the
haven't
ranch, but
figured
we're still
out-
working out all the details. It's okay. I'm not going to commit myself to
Yeah,
anything.
you will commit yourself to
No, I'm not
something.
doing that. But this will be the last Ranch Roundup. So if you are on the fence about coming to Ranch Roundup because, you know, having, 100, 150 people on the ranch, other subscribers that you get a chance to hang out with, this will be the last opportunity for that. Now, somebody's going to send me a nasty email and say, why are we doing this? But there's a few reasons why we're changing how this whole system is going to work. Number one, that Ranch Roundup is very, very time consuming, and we're finding that it's hard to even put together this time of year.
And we've always done it in August or September, and this year we wanted to do it in June, which actually works a lot better for like our personal lives, but it's really extremely busy. And I think it'll still be a great event this year, but it's honestly becoming like, it's really hard. Like, I love Ranch Roundup and I love when we get to that day, but like leading up to that day is really hard, don't you think?
It's difficult.
In like the best way, right? Because like I want to work really hard to put on a really great event, but there is so many things to still get done, and we're like 3 weeks out.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it just needs. What we need to do is still offer in-person events, but we need to completely restructure how we do in-person events.
Right, and I think that it'll be a smaller group. It'll be more educational component to it. I think in some aspects.
And a lot of it is coming because we get emails all the time of like, I want to come to the ranch and I want to learn how to do what you guys are doing.
Do a certain thing.
And Ranch Roundup is fun, but it's more like, hey, let's just hang out on the ranch. It's not. We try to make it somewhat educational, but it's not. In all reality, it's not. We know that you guys that are attending is because you want to have fun and you want to be here, but it's not. You're not learning how to do what we do. So
Right, and I think that's what we're going to lean towards is actually more of a
like a workshop.
yeah, like
Kind of.
a working Ranch Roundup, something along those lines. But I'm not tying myself to anything. But that is how things are going to change for Ranch Roundup, and make it a better event that is more manageable for us on the ranch. Because obviously this is still a working ranch, so it's tricky sometimes to try to put all this stuff together and still be able to get to it.
Even like butchering the
done what we
chickens
get
today.
done.
Like I didn't want to butcher the chickens today.
No.
I mean they needed to be processed. There is an expiration date on those
Expiration
chickens.
date.
And but like in the grand scheme of things of like the Ranch Roundup to-do list, like the chickens don't fit in that to-do list. They don't. Like there was no time to butcher the chickens, but we had to butcher the chickens, and so it's becoming extremely difficult to put on this huge event for hundreds of people, but then balance our day-to-day ranch.
Right. And then also trying to manage, like how much do you sell tickets for, trying to do sponsors and line up sponsors, and COVID has really kind of knocked the crap out of that. And being able to have sponsors and have people in attendance and that kind of stuff. Yeah. So being able to do something that's a little bit more focused, I think will definitely benefit everybody.
We're not going to be a dude ranch. We're not just going to move the cows from one pasture to the next and put everybody on horseback and stuff. But it will probably be like a pretty intensive working experience where, like, depending on the time of the year when you come, you will learn or get to do different things.
Right, and big litter, so like you can build a big fire and cook burgers, and you can do that at the end of the day, you know, with what we have lined up in the future.
But when we get emails almost every day that says, I want to come and work on the ranch and learn how to do this, like, is that what we need to do? I don't know.
Right, yeah.
And like, yeah, we're not going to be a dude ranch. That's not what we're going to do. But like, at the end of the day, it's still just us, and we have ranch hound Jeff here, but like he's not an employee. If Jeff wants to not work on Tuesday, we say, okay, cool. We appreciate your help. Go do what you need to do. But yeah, I don't know. We got to do something different.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that, you know, trying to get stuff worked out and lined up, and you know, being able to make it the best for everybody.
Yeah.
Us included.
I think for a couple of years, we're going to move to substantially smaller groups, very, very small groups, and try and offer that as many times a year as possible and not do these huge in-person events. Right.
And I do feel bad because people show up, and we saw this the very first year, which was kind of surprising. The first Ranch Roundup, we had people come from all over the U.S. and all over in Canada, and we had people leave mad because they didn't get to spend enough time with you or with me, and that made me feel bad. Yeah. Like, I felt bad that because you are constantly on the move and you're trying to, you know, meet everybody, but really, we figured it out. Like, if we had, you know, 100 people show up and you spent 5 minutes with each person, that's 500 minutes. Yeah. That's you know, hours. Yeah. Lots of hours. That's like 8 hours of just talking to people. Yeah. So yeah,
and sometimes
it's
I have
tricky.
to go to the bathroom. You know?
You have to squeeze that in, right? Yeah. So that's kind of, and you guys are hearing this first. We are actually going to address this in our newsletter this week. If you don't get our newsletter, head over to the website ourwyominglife.com and make sure that you sign up for it there. And you know, you're going to find out more about what we I don't know if we figure out anything in the next 2 days, but about what we do. The
newsletter's supposed to come out tomorrow.
Okay, maybe
we have no idea what we're doing in the future, except for it will be smaller and more frequent.
Yeah, more in person, more you know, concentrated. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and that's something we can work with our sponsors with that as well, like Beck Art, and we could have, you know, fencing with Keith, you know, or something. I don't know. Yeah. Not committing to anything. Thank you, Christy. We do appreciate that. So what's your biggest concern coming up in the next 2 weeks? You can't say Ranch Roundup because that's 3 weeks away.
I still don't have all the gardens planted.
You still don't have all the gardens? No, I'm kidding. No. The gardens are not planted yet. No. What's still waiting to get planted?
Just some flowers over here, and then like succession planting. So, you know, I plant radishes, and then 3 weeks later I plant more radishes and stuff. So I need to get those second plantings in. And then, all the winter squash. I have a bunch of the winter squash in the grow room ready to go out. I just don't have all the direct seeded stuff. The dang plastic is still probably blowing up. So
yeah, exactly.
So our dinner and our kids are here.
All right, you ready to hang things up for the day? Yeah. I know we're going to leave things on a great note, but guys, we do have, you know, very much you in mind as we move forward with Our Wyoming Life. We've had YouTube consultants ask us, what's Our Wyoming Life 2.0 going to look like? And I honestly have no idea, but I want you to send me a personal email. I'm going to give you my personal email address. It's Mike at I'm going to do this.
You'll regret this.
No, it's Mike at ourwyominglife.com. And what I want to hear from you guys is why you watch Our Wyoming Life, and if there's anything missing that you would like to see. We've talked more about.
And not like go ride the horses and stuff.
No,
guys.
But we're talking more about, you know, showing you guys the realities of the ranch and you know, what's behind you know, the struggles. You know, a lot of times I think that sometimes we make it look too easy.
Yeah.
That there are struggles behind what we do. So if you would like to give me your 2 cents, feel free to send me an email. You know, maybe you don't like anything. That's fine too. Tell me that. Of course, if you didn't like anything, what the hell are you doing here? Go away. But anyway, thanks guys for hanging out with us once again. This has been kind of a retro thing, but as well as being retro in over the last 4 years and taking a look back at what we've done, it's more about moving forward and what's going to happen in the future. So sometimes we don't know what the future's coming, what the future has in store, but I think that that's kind of what makes it fun sometimes as well. Thank you to our moderators for keeping everybody in line.
Yeah,
oh my gosh,
you guys are busy
you
tonight.
guys earned your money tonight. Holy smokes! What did we talk about that brought all the cracks and the what are the kooks?
Apparently, we got somehow the live stream got put into the YouTube algorithm and suggested to a bunch of new people. So
Right.
if you're new here and you enjoyed this live stream, please subscribe and also go to our main channel, our Wyoming Life, and subscribe to that.
Yes, for sure. And check out the website. Diku, hi. How you doing? Thanks, guys, for hanging out with us. We're going to go eat some dinner, and then we're going to go package some chickens, then we're going to pass out.
Now
Thanks.
you got to check the cows.
Oh, yeah, I got to check the cows.
And I'm going to go look at the landscape fabric and go, I'll deal with that tomorrow.
Thanks, guys. Have a great week. We will see you on Friday with a brand new video on our Wyoming Life. And if you really want to attend Ranch Roundup this year and you can't, try to get here.
Attend this year.
If you can, but if you can't, if you absolutely can't, you can still purchase virtual tickets and get those online at our website as well. So it should be a lot of